In Richard's book, The Greatest Show on Earth, and he gives the pages, etc., he claims the retina could not have been designed, as creationists say, because the photoreceptors are at the back rather than the front. So it is back to front. And it was a fact, he said, if it was created, it was the design of an idiot. Just stop there. Recent research has shown that there are cells in the retina that guide light to the photoreceptors and refocus it. The scientists who did this research described the light-guiding cells in the retina structure with the words optimal design for improving the sharpness of images, and that's from Physical Review letters, etc., etc. Will Richard admit he is wrong, since he is not an expert on optics and the researchers are?
Well, no, I will not admit I'm wrong. This is a very interesting case. The retina is back to front, and the retina of the vertebrati is back to front, in the sense that the light-sensitive cells are pointing away from the light. Now, the light-sensitive cells are connected to the brain via nerves, and any sensible designer would have had the nerves behind the light-sensitive cells, which is in fact the way they are in mollusks, for example, octopuses, which have rather good eyes, rather like ours, with the difference being that the light-sensitive cells point towards the light, and the wires connecting it to the brain lead backwards to the brain, which is the sensible way to do it. Now, the vertebrati is back to front, so that the wires that connect the light-sensitive cells to the brain are running along the front of the retina. That means that the light has to penetrate this forest of wires, nerves, before it hits the light-sensitive cells, which are facing backwards. Now, it's very easy to see why this happened. It happened for historical reasons, and there's no doubt about that. Now, it is, of course, true that humans, for example, and I mentioned hawks before, see much better than octopuses. So in spite of the fact that our eye has this design flaw, we have better eyes because natural selection comes along afterwards and cleans up after the original mess that was made by this fundamental design flaw. Natural selection came along afterwards and made all sorts of little titivations which have the effect of giving us really rather good vision. And that happens again and again. It's very interesting that you get a bungle to begin with, and then rather than correct the bungle, what natural selection does is to come along and make little titivations, little tinkerings, which sort of make up for the mistake, and that's a very interesting phenomenon. Well, no, I will not admit I'm wrong. 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 Well, no, I will not admit I'm wrong.